Yo, you ever see a dude fall so hard he starts praying in a foreign jail just to survive? Vitaly really went from prank king to panic preacher overnight. This man used to run wild on YouTube. Now he locked up in the Philippines, begging for mercy and finding God all of a sudden. Today we reacting to the new update on Vitaly's jail situation. Mental health claims, fake apologies, and a so-called spiritual awakening. The video is from Jamari's channel, link in the description. Let's break this down together.
So just last week I was telling you guys how OG YouTuber Vitaly has been going through it over in the Philippines. He has been straight up begging for forgiveness, saying that his mental health had been compromised. Apparently the man had rediscovered religion.
Ain't it funny how some folks only find God when the bars slam shut? Vitaly been wilding for years, disrespecting people, doing dumb stuff for clicks like he was untouchable. Now he in a cold cell, probably eating rice with bugs in it, talking about mental health and religion. Nah, this ain't spiritual, this survival mode. And listen, I ain't here to knock nobody's journey, but don't weaponize religion when you just trying to dodge accountability. It's real convenient when the camera's off and the walls are up. Suddenly he found peace in the Lord. Come on now.
And he even requested to be bailed out for the time being while his trial awaits hearing, or to be deported altogether. Obviously he was denied bail, and the big problem with him being deported is that both America and Russia, where he's actually from, want absolutely nothing to do with this guy.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
We don't care.
In fact, Russia said that he should serve as a good example of what not to do for their citizens when traveling abroad, and that they respect the Filipino people and their decisions regarding Vitaly's detainment.
Foreign nationals who abuse our hospitality and violate our laws must face the consequences. The Bureau is resolute. We will not allow our deportation process to be undermined by publicity tactics or legal maneuvering. No special treatment will be given.
Bruh, this man really thought he was gonna finesse the whole justice system with a little "please I found God" speech. He asked for bail or deportation and they hit him with a solid nah. Now here's the real kicker. Russia don't even want him back. That's your birthplace, your passport, your people. And they basically said, let him rot. Even dropped a whole PSA like, don't be like this dummy. And yo, when the government starts talking like that, you know they embarrassed. They like, Filipinos, do whatever you need, we good. No sympathy, no passport privilege, no special treatment, just cold steel bars and a hard lesson on respect.
Now this entire time, yes, we had been getting updates, but we hadn't seen like actual pictures or videos of what Vitaly was currently looking like after 2 months in this nightmare facility. But recently he was moved from there into an actual Filipino prison where he awaits his eventual trial. And let me tell you guys, the difference in not only his general physique, but also his expressions and his overall attitude could not be more jarring. Here is Vitaly before, all smiles in the courtroom and even laughing and mocking the people for his own idiotic actions. And here is Vitaly after these 2 months, where he obviously looks like a shell of his former self, losing what I estimate to be over 50 pounds, as well as his will to live. You know, I guess there's no steroid needles and protein shakes where he was currently staying. I think it was really just rat piss and cockroach droppings.
you're gonna learn today.
And that big old smile that he had painted on his face before, that real smug look, was the exact thing they wanted wiped off his mug. I mean, this guy looks completely destroyed. He holds his hands over his head as he knows he's getting screwed. We also got a couple of other photos of him actually discovering he would be being moved to an actual prison. And this guy looks stressed out to say the least, likely praying to God that this could all go away after playing with fire in a foreign land and getting burned. I mean, he really thought that the money he has would make these things simply go away like they did in the past when he would do bad shit, but obviously that was not the case, and the Filipino people clearly want him to face justice, refusing to drop their charges. I mean, really, the headline here should be, YouTuber learns that you cannot pay off everyone in your life.
These new photos hit different. He went from flexing and smirking in court like this was all a little joke, to looking like he just got off a survival show where the only prize is not dying. 50 pounds gone? No more gym selfies. No more protein tubs. No more ego. Just rats, roaches, and regret. And that fake tough guy energy, yeah, the prison system wiped that clean. His face now look like he saw every demon he used to laugh at. This ain't confidence no more. This straight up collapse. He played with fire thinking his clout or cash could protect him like it always had. But over there, in someone else's country, nah, bruh. You ain't the main character. You the lesson. And yo, respect to the Filipino people. They ain't folding the pressure or headlines. They said you violated here, you gonna face justice here. This whole thing, it's exactly what happens when your ego outgrows your morals. Let that be known. Yo, if you want me to react to more wild stories like this, hit that like and subscribe. Don't stop the flow. All right, let's get back to it.
And some of you may have noticed that his shirt there said immigration deportee, and it was almost like a sick, twisted joke because I'm sure at first when he put that on, he did think that because of this label, he would be being deported, he would be free back in America or Russia. I mean, the mother would probably take North Korea at this point. Because at the last press conference, his shirt had an acronym for the Bureau of Immigration Warden Facility, but like I said before, absolutely no one wants his ass, so it was kind of like the old bait and switch. Like, oh, you think you're going home, you think you're finally free from this 2-month nightmare, well actually you're going to be going to a place that's much worse, with actual criminals this time who likely do not have a very good outlook on you. And now there has even been this photo released where it appears that Vitaly was getting baptized over there, which I guess is where this religious epiphany angle comes from when it comes to his legal team.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Either way, on June 11th, Vitaly was moved to what is described as a high-security prison where he has been for the last week. This facility is actually called the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology in Muntinlupa City, where he still faces these charges of unjust vexation, theft, and public harassment. I've seen people predict that this could land him up to 18 months in prison, but I've also seen reports from the Philippines that he's still facing these 24 years, which, let's be honest, would obviously be a pretty extreme punishment even for what he did. And you also have to keep in mind that he could be waiting up to 3 years for his trial to start, and I feel like by then, he would literally look like a skeleton with skin draped over it.
Yo, imagine putting on a shirt that says deportation like it's gonna magically unlock a plane ticket. And the universe replies, nah, try this concrete bed instead. Bruh thought the government was gonna treat him like some VIP vlogger. Instead, he getting the nobody wants you package. Not America, not Russia. They like, we full, send him somewhere with rats. And then you got that photo floating around, him getting baptized. Nah, that ain't repentance, that's damage control. He going from steroids to Psalms like it's a rebrand. But here's the real twist. That new joint they put him in, Muntinlupa, that's not the little cell with sunshine and rice bowls. That's steel bars, moldy walls, and real consequences. Even if he catches short sentence, 18 months, he gonna feel every hour. But if it's 24 years, man, this dude gonna age in dog years. And that 3-year wait just for the trial, by then, he be built like a Halloween prop. No pump, no pride, just skin barely hanging on bones.
And many people who are more familiar with the Philippines and their justice system actually speculate that by that time Vitaly would not even be alive. But who knows, maybe his internet celebrity status will save him from that outcome. Either way, I watched this documentary about the specific prison that Vitaly is actually going to from back in 2023, and much like where he already was, I would not call it a walk in the park. As a matter of fact, it seems much worse. Like I said, he's around actual criminals this time, instead of just other foreigners who are awaiting deportation, many of them who did nothing wrong. But like before, this place is overcrowded. Like at the time of the documentary, it was built to house around 1,500 prisoners, but they had over 8,000.
It is virtually impossible to move around. No distractions. They're alone with their thoughts, concerns, and fears.
They also discuss how the new people basically are at the bottom of this totem pole, getting really bad treatment from the other prisoners, and you're pretty much a peon in there.
As the new guy, he gets the worst spot in the cell, right next to the toilet.
Once again, there is obviously a serious hygiene problem with this overcrowding. And can you guys believe that all of these prisoners actually share one single bathroom?
You're gonna learn today.
With no running water or plumbing.
This is our toilet and bathroom. We only have water from buckets.
Just one bathroom for 92 people.
Wow.
No running water. Catastrophic hygienic conditions.
They describe the food portions here as just enough to survive, but nothing more than that. And they say without money, people here do not have access to simple necessities like toothpaste, clothing, or soap. And let me also just say that based on this footage, Vitaly is really going to stick out like a sore thumb there in that prison. Most prisoners here do appear to be from the Philippines, which really tells me that they must really be trying to make an example out of Vitaly at this point. Like, it was not enough for him to live in hell for the last 2 months, they wanted to make it even worse.
A 6-meter high double
Damn,
fence
that's
made of
crazy.
barbed wire surrounds the prison. 10 watchtowers also surround the prison complex.
During the documentary, they talk about this black soccer player who had to be removed from the general population, not because he had really done anything wrong, but because he got into many fights there due to his race.
It's really hard because you have no visitations, all of your privileges, they will gonna remove it from you. They are all walking around, they are playing basketball. I get jealous because I'm an athlete. Being here, it's really hard for me, especially I'm alone here that time, getting into crazy. Yeah, I'm talking to myself that time because I'm alone.
And I do assume this will be a similar fate that Vitaly will face. I mean, I'll say even the prisoner in there with the utmost respect from the authorities, a man named Ranilo, who is facing 15 years for drug dealing, has the nicest setup in this prison, which is a 1.5 meter cubicle that he gets to himself, where he has these pretty cute cats. I won't lie, I think that would save me from a little bit of insanity. But with that being said, this guy had to do a whole lot to get that. He had already been there for 3 years, and he had to do all of these personal favors for guards, and he had to provide himself as an authority figure for other prisoners to really earn their respect in this 1.5 square meter cubicle.
Man, this whole thing sounds like a horror movie without the credits. 8,000 dudes in a space meant for 1,500. One bathroom, no water. Food just enough to barely keep your organs from quitting. You don't eat to live, you eat to not die. And that new guy treatment? Yeah, welcome to the bottom of the bottom. They ain't giving you the newbie welcome mat. They handing you the floor by the toilet in a bucket. And the only thing that flowing is trauma. And don't even get me started on the racial angle. They had to pull out a black soccer player just to keep him from getting jumped daily. Now imagine Vitaly, cocky white YouTuber known for disrespect, thrown into that same population. He gonna stick out like raw chicken at a vegan cookout. No love, no passes. That whole barbed wire fortress, that's not security, that's a message. You're not leaving, you're not joking, and you damn sure not vlogging. Even the dude with cats, yeah, he got the nicest setup, but he paid for it with 3 years of grinding respect, favors, and survival. And that's the reward, a tiny box and a couple cats so you don't lose your damn mind. If you ain't mentally built like titanium, this place will break you. And Vitaly, he built like ego and gym powder. We gonna see if that's enough.
But hey, I'll take it because here are the sleeping conditions that Vitaly will be incurring every single night.
Packed tightly together, they get ready for the long night ahead. Many suffer from nightmares.
Overall, it's beyond clear to me that Vitaly is pretty much fucked. I mean, the guy's face looks totally defeated. Honestly, the only way I could see him being saved here is through some sort of Trump pardon. But this guy isn't even American, so it's very hard for me to see Trump wasting his time on someone who was already causing a lot of trouble in the past in America for his reckless actions. I mean, obviously this should serve as a wake-up call for not only Vitaly, but also other idiot streamers who are looking for clout and attention through public harassment. But I gotta say it, even now though I doubt this guy will learn his lesson. I mean, I watched the last video he had posted to his YouTube channel when he announced his comeback, and this guy literally glorifies every negative thing he's done in his life and his past. Even calling himself a supervillain who will never die, the guy thinks he's like the Joker or something.
Are you stupid or something?
He twists his own reality through his own lens. I mean, like, if there was a poster boy for not being able to take accountability, it would be Vitaly next to Fuzi. I mean, first off, he blames all of his shitty actions on his childhood, which is just like a classic trope. He calls the incident where he was arrested for doing drugs and a woman simply a low point in his life. He thinks of himself as rebuilding his body through massive amounts of steroids as a positive thing, something that people should be motivated by.
Holy Jesus. What is that?
He glorifies his fake pranks, he glorifies his fake life, and even the botched catching that he was doing last year he sees as this noble thing, despite the fact that it was all for content, and due to his Bush League investigations all these freaks never faced real legal consequences and got away with doing this nasty shit.
The most fascinating part about supervillains is their obsession with notoriety. They are obsessed with being the bad guy. They'll do anything for attention, even if it creates absolute havoc, leaving those around them to clean up the mess.
Yeah, I'm here to pick up friend.
What friend?
Vitaly.
They love seeing the world burn.
Either way, it's just so ironic to me that something like this was uploaded right before the shitstorm really hit. I mean, really guys, this is like a primary lesson in fucking around and finding out.
Talo.
This one different, cause it ain't just about Vitaly no more. This the cautionary tale for every clout chasing, camera swinging loudmouth who thinks the world is their playground. Like consequences don't exist if your follower count is high enough. Vitaly ain't the Joker. He ain't no misunderstood villain. He's just a grown-ass man who kept pushing lines till they pushed back. You want to be a menace for views? Cool. But don't cry when the universe gives you main character punishment for side character behavior. Bro tried to remix pain into content, and now life is remixing him. And what's wild, even after all this, the jail time, the public shame, the weight loss, the fake holy water glow up, I still don't think he gets it. Cause deep down, dudes like this don't chase redemption. They chase headlines. And let's be real, some of these so-called supervillains, they not out here playing chess, they just joking around until reality knocks their teeth in. Let me ask you this, do you think this was just a warning, or is Vitaly stuck in this for the long haul? Will he come out changed or come out worse? Drop it in the comments. I'll see you on the next one. Panda out.